Out of sight, out of mind. I'm sure we've all heard that saying before. But in today's world, I believe that it can represent something way more profound than a mere historical proverb. I mean, we are the only generation in history to let our food get cold, just to prove to strangers that it was sizzling hot. The only generation that has to constantly document the fun they're having, just to prove that it was in fact fun. We spend our whole lives trying to seek unique experiences, only to post images that require the same aesthetics to even be considered acceptable. Just think about it. Social media bases itself on the idea of individuality, but one that fits into the template of engagement. Sure, posting yourself to trends brings you likes, followers, compliments left and right. But have you ever wondered what that looks like from the viewer's perspective? What if I told you right now that your identity perceived by the viewer is just another 10-second reel out of the hundreds that they scroll past mindlessly every single day? In mathematics, it's called the concept of limits, where a value starts tending so close to zero, becoming so infinitely small that we start considering it zero itself. Meaning that your identity is rendered negligible among the millions and millions of others. Remember the main character trend that popped up on social media a while ago? Right now, that is about viewing and romanticizing your life, where you are the star of the show, what we call Delulu. But a somewhat similar concept stems directly from the Romantic period of the 18th and 19th centuries. Writers like Goethe, painters like William Blake, and poets like Byron all emphasize the image of a romantic hero, or the main character, a radical figure who rejected the cloning and conformity of society's rules. The trend that once advocated violating societal norms and protested against fitting in now exists solely to be paired with a trending audio track and the same cinematic lighting people have used hundreds and thousands of times. And the paradox doesn't just end here. Don't you recall telling your friends, "Oh, I'm so sick of these same trends popping up on my feed again and again"? But hold that thought. What if I made you watch a painter working extremely hard on a 5-piece mural in the very next one? Most of us here would whine and complain about that being boring too, and just scroll past again. Some time ago, these reels started flooding my feed. Something like this. You know, the ones with a random meme clipping or an absolutely ridiculous AI-based story, paired with an audio track that sounds like someone is dragging nails on a chalkboard. But the real kicker is the Subway Surfer clip in the background, where the player manages perfectly to dodge all the coins in his path, defeating the entire purpose of the game itself. And despite the absurdity of it all, I analyze viewer trends to find out that these are actually the ones that gain the most engagement. And admittedly, once I started, these videos started to get so weirdly engaging that I got drawn to watching them for hours on end. But let's take a moment and dissect why exactly that happens. The audio clipping uses the most minimal of our cognitive power, inducing the comfort of completely shutting down our brains. The gaming clip in the background makes the video engaging enough to distract you. Yet, dodging those coins triggers something like OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder, instantly making us irritated. That irritation, in turn, brings about a craving for dopamine, the feel-good chemical of our bodies. And hence, we continue the scroll of the same content over and over again. And that's the weird part about our brains. It doesn't just tell us to stop and keep the phone aside, even after being severely irritated by it. It tells us to keep our thumbs moving, scrolling, seeking that one more dose, that one more hit of dopamine. And in the process, since we allow the algorithm to constantly award predictability and performances, what do we find out? It does exactly that. We have weaponized our own boredom against individuality. Not only do we fail to embrace our unique identities on such platforms, we also play a key role in suppressing the ones who do. By supporting content that requires literally zero effort, we sacrifice the 10 seconds of time we could have given to learning a new skill, supporting someone in their dreams, or listening to someone trying to tell a story. And not just any random story, their own personal story. So, you might ask, where do we change? The change starts with a single deliberate friction point. Stop expending your dopamine like it's free currency. Every time you open such apps, you are given a choice to grow or to dumb down further. Every time you consciously choose to applaud the effort over rewarding the convenience, you are casting a vote for originality. You are teaching the algorithm and, more importantly, your own brain that substance is better than sedation. If we can train our minds to appreciate content that actually requires brain power, if we can train our minds to find its worth when it's out of the feed, then we stop handing over all the power to the algorithm. We break the pattern. But listen, I'm not here to tell you that social media is the devil. It would be easy to leave the stage and say, just delete your accounts and go live in a cabin at this point. But that ignores the subtle, powerful good that this platform actually holds. I remember one specific day in the 9th grade, back when I was a competitive swimmer. I was exhausted, physically beaten down and emotionally wound up from practices where my timings just wouldn't budge. I wasn't seeing any improvement and just felt this weird feeling of stuck, Later that evening, when I opened social media, drained and scrolling without purpose, a video popped up. It showed some strange, counterintuitive swimming technique, a tiny modification for long-distance efficiency. My first reaction was cynicism. But that day, instead of just scrolling by, I figured, what's the worst that could happen? And actually paid attention to every single detail in that video. And as surprising as it was, the next day when I showed up to practice, the clock didn't lie. I saw massive improvement quite literally overnight. And that's when the realization hit me. The power doesn't actually have to rest in the algorithm. It lies in the user's intent. The moment we start seeking knowledge and skill over the same cut-paste content, the algorithm is ready to serve you that too. So the next time you feel that digital anesthetic kick in, stop your thumbs for just 1 minute. Close your eyes and acknowledge that boredom. Imagine someone watching over you. Let that stillness remind you of the choices you've made with each scroll. Lastly, I leave you with a thought to ponder upon. If there were no social media, no notion of perfection to live up to, no endless feed pressuring your thoughts, who would you be when that template disappears? Would you still chase that same perpetual dopamine cycle? What would you do that makes you truly you? And if you do it then, why not do it now? Thank you.